Hey, Bruce Feldman, pleased to be joined this week by Utah All-American linebacker Devin Lloyd. Devin, thanks for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, we got good timing because last weekend on Friday against Stanford, you made a remarkable play. You made a bunch of them, but especially maybe the shortest pick six in the history of football. So walk us through the 2-yard jump up, snatch it out of the air, like how that happened, how quickly you reacted, and have you ever done anything like that before?
Yeah, never picked off anything like that. I kind of always try to use my hands as like a second wave. I'm trying to because there's a pressure, and if I can't hit home, then I just try to use my length as another way to get a PBU or something like that. But I just jumped in. I guess I timed it perfectly, and then as soon as I realized I was in the air, like the ball was just in my hands because I'm always going off kind of the quarterback's release. And so, I just realized, like, just kind of stuck to my hands. I was like, oh, let me just try to get in the end zone. I think I'm like right here. So I just tried to reach the ball out. It was a bang, 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 bang play. Like it happened so fast. It was just, surreal.
It should be noted that you were a star wide receiver in high school in Southern California, right? So this was not like some just defensive player who they stuck over there because he can't catch passes, right?
No, yeah. I'm always expecting to come down with the ball. And I dropped one at the week prior at UCLA, so I kind of always I knew I wanted to get it back, like if I had another opportunity. But I'm always on the jugs, like after practices sometimes, and I still pride myself on having good hands, so it wasn't a huge surprise.
Yeah, I remember years ago working on a story about Ed Reed, the great Miami defensive back, and this was when he was with the Ravens, but he came back to Miami and he was on the jugs. And the last part of his workout, I want to say it was like 20 minutes. It was one-handed with the left hand, one-handed with the right hand. And then he like walked up to the jugs gun for, I don't know where he started from, maybe 15 yards out. And then it was a bunch of catches, like to the point where it was like, it was almost like putting his finger in it. And it was kind of crazy because you were that close to him. When you make that play, do you sit there and go, man, I can't wait to watch that on the film?
Well, I'm more focused on finishing the game, obviously. And just taking, everything one play at a time. Just, I'm the type of guy that never gets too high, too low. Like I don't want to, get just too high on one play or even too low on one play. But definitely after the game, that's when I'm starting to be like, oh, okay. Can't wait to watch this player. Can't wait to watch this play. Especially after a win, and then same thing for all my bad plays too. Like really antsy to watch the film.
So this year has been a big roller coaster for this program. You've had tragedy with another teammate passing away, slow start to the season on top of that, and now all of a sudden you guys are the hottest team, certainly on the West Coast. What has that been like for you as a leader to kind of manage all the emotions that not just you're dealing with, but what your teammates are dealing with?
Yeah, season has definitely been a roller coaster filled with several highs, several lows, but it's a matter, as a leader for myself and all the leaders on the team, just to make sure everything is emphasized to go one day at a time, and just to take advantage of everything you can every moment. So not getting too worried about where we're standing or where we're going to be. Just really living in the present, and then doing everything we can to maximize what we're doing.
I noticed on your social media, it's a one-word, underdog. How much of that is defined? I saw in high school, I think you were ranked like the 122nd best safety in your recruiting class and was committed to UNLV before. I think that maybe Utah was your only Pac-12 offer. Is that, if I'm not mistaken? Is that kind of how you identify, or is underdog even more than just what you were seen as a recruit?
My whole life, and it's nothing, really new to me even up to this point, but I appreciate, my upbringing and, everything that's come along with my journey, because, I just feel like it's just made me, really focus on the ultimate goal, which, is just being the best version of myself, helping others, and really just trying to be the best teammate I can be, trying to be the best player I can be for my team and not worry about anything else.
In terms of your roots and your leadership and your discipline, knowing that your dad was 30 years in the Navy, what kind of lessons do you take that he's imparted, and even just to be around him, and what are the things that has really shaped you into not just the player you are, but the person you are?
Yeah, for sure. My dad has done so much for me, You know, in terms of just life in general, but then also when it comes to football, a lot of things that, you know, he taught me as far as, you know, being a leader, you know, is like self-discipline. Like it all starts with myself. So, you know, in order to lead others, I have to have my stuff, my business taken care of. So really just being self-disciplined, but then also being a student of the game as well. He preached that so much, just understanding the ins and outs of the game, not just playing the game, but actually understanding it in detail. You know, he was a very meticulous person, so I think that translated over with me as well, as far as, you know, taking pride in the details, taking pride in the small things. And, I mean, he really just emphasized, you know, understanding that whenever you're in a leadership role, you know, it's really an honor. You know, I take great pride in my leadership role. You know, a lot of things that he's taught me is translated straight directly to the game.
At how young did he impart some of these things? Were you 7, 8, 9 years old? Are you able to grasp some of the things that a career military man is sharing with you?
Yeah. So I moved with my dad out to California when I was 12, and that's when I really started to learn kind of all these little things. I would say whenever I was 13, 14, you know, and it was really just us two, I started to become more independent, and I learned a lot, you know, I say from him.
Is it harder? Or like, I imagine there's some challenges when it's you don't have any other siblings. It's you and a guy who's been in the military for 30 years. Um, what was that like to have that kind of relationship when it's just there are no other siblings? So you're growing up probably as an old
Yeah,
soul.
yeah, for sure. Definitely an old soul. I was I was around friends a lot. So he would be gone at work, and you know, I had like my bike, and I would just mob around, you know, the city. And then, you know, I'd just be with my friends a lot. Or like I said, I was really independent. So he kind of trusted me to, you know, go out and whatever, trusted that I was gonna be safe and everything. So I was just mobbing around a lot, really.
Any similarities between he and your head coach, Kyle Whittingham?
Yeah, they're both old school. They have that old school mentality, but you know, they're tough. You know, both of them are, I'd say, are really tough, and you know, they take pride in like the small things. Like they don't let anything get by if it's not done the right way, and you know, I appreciate that tremendously by both of them.
You were not only a really good receiver, you're also a punter in high school, and a safety. So what is it like to play linebacker for a guy who was such a great linebacker back in his day as Kyle was?
Man, it's an honor, honestly. I get my game input from him. He's taught me so much, and I know just being in a defense like this, you know, that has success year in and year out. It doesn't matter who's going to be in the program. You know, I think, you know, it's just a huge blessing just being able to learn, you know, schematically, you know, how things operate and how things should be. And I mean, I think I look at it as a blessing.
How much did you pay attention to the rankings this week? You guys are in the top 25. A lot of people thought you should have already been in there, you know, a week earlier. You have Arizona this week, and then on the horizon, not far away, you got the team that everybody thinks is the Pac-12's best hope to make it to the playoff. I mean, how are you viewing where you guys are at right now?
Yeah, we're not putting too much thought in it, honestly. We know things will sort itself out if we accomplish everything we need to day in and day out. So, you know, in the next 3 weeks or so, wherever we're standing, we'll be standing. But hopefully, you know, we'll accomplish everything we want to accomplish.
All right, Devin, thanks for joining us today. Best of luck this weekend against the Wildcats and the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.